Today Africa Podcast is a podcast series where we interview African entrepreneurs and professionals and share the stories behind their businesses. In each interview, we ask how they got started, how they grew, and how they run their business today. The stories are inspiring and also provide specific advice and insight into starting a business. By sharing these stories, we want to help others get started.
Welcome to Today Africa, where we bring you inspiring conversation with individuals shaping the future of the continent. And today conversation is all about investments, savings, and everything that has to do with building wealth with the little or with the much that you have. And joining me today is Oluwatobi Akinola. He is the founder of Stashwise, a gamified savings and investment platform here in Nigeria. Oluwatobi, you are welcome.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Okay. Please, could you tell us about yourself? Who is Oluwatobi as a boy, as a teenager, and as a man he is today, building his own business here in Nigeria?
Okay. So my name is Oluwatobi Akinola. I'm a graduate of the Federal University of Technology, Akure, Futa. Information system graduate actually. I'm also a product developer, product designer majorly. So for the last couple of years, I've been doing product design for some of the fintech companies in Nigeria, a number of fintech companies in Nigeria. So that's me. Stashwise is not my first tryout of business. I've done a business before called Cotty Venture, right? It was to help farmers to aggregate information that can help them make more informed decision. But that was like when I was still an undergraduate, but we shut it down like I think a year after Sha. Yeah. So, so that's everything about me.
All right, it's not your first business. And I believe that there were some lessons that you learned from the other business that you brought to Stashwise. And my question is, what really inspired you into starting Stashwise?
Okay. So there's a funny story behind it actually. So I have a friend who normally when you have that kind of friend that every time you're around them, they complain a lot about not having money, right? There is no time they are not broke or something. But you also know like this friend is a chronic gambler. Like there's no weekend you won't see him at one betting shop or the other, right? And he's like a chronic gambler in the sense that there was a time I had to go and help him bail out his phone. Like he has, there's this virtual game they normally play at all this playing center, right? He has bet and bet that he has paid all the money with him and also used his phone to like a collateral to play more games with hope that he's going to win and collect his phone back. So I have to go and bail out his phone for like 25,000 naira. So that was where the whole idea first came from initially. That okay, what if we build a platform that mimics something around you playing a game, but instead of like you gambling in a sense, what you're doing is saving money, right?
Okay.
So that was where the first conversation comes in between me and my co-founder. But one of the things we realized as we started building is that betting is a psychological thing too. Like to a large part of it is a psychological thing. It's not something you can really solve by building an application for, right? You might reduce it to some extent, but I don't think you can really solve it. So, and that's one of the things we realized when we started building. So we have to pivot it a little bit to a saving platform normally, but add some element of gaming to it to attract those who are like gamblers but are trying to quit. At the same time, attract those who just want to save money normally. So that was where the idea comes from. That was where the inspiration comes from. But over time too, another problem we have been trying to solve is I don't know if you know, but there's like more than 30,000 cooperative organization in Nigeria. cooperative organization is maybe like employee gather together to be saving at the end of the month or a particular people, right? And one of the things about those cooperative organization is that most of their finances are managed manually, right? So cooperative organization take savings from their members. They also give out loans to their members. So if you're a member of a cooperative, you can request a loan from that cooperative, right? But most of
Yeah.
all the things they do that relate to money, they still manage it manually. Like the most advanced cooperative I've seen so far still use Excel to, okay, this user saved this amount of money this month, this user saved this amount of money this month. So another thing we are trying to solve now is the cooperative organization to try and digitalize their finances so that their members can be able to save or request for loan directly from our own application, while the cooperative manage the rest of the thing from their side.
You have talked about the story that inspired into starting up Stashwise. Let's talk about Stashwise more. So, could you please tell us what is Stashwise and what are you trying to fulfill or the gap you are trying to bridge in the market?
To put it simple, Stashwise is a gamified saving platform, right? And what does gamified saving platform means? It means Stashwise is a saving platform with some gamified elements in it, right? So I've talked about my friend's issue. One of the also things we realize is that people tend to be people tend to find it difficult or struggle to save consistently, right? There's a statistic that I read from the CBN that says 71% of Nigerian adults struggles to save consistently. Not that they don't want to save money, right? But they struggle to be consistent with it. So, like, let's take starting of the year now. People we have this New Year resolution, New Year, New Me. I'm going to be saving money and stuff like that. But 2 months down the line, they
Yeah.
will find one excuse or the other to remove that money from their from their savings, right? And one of the things that we realize is the problem of that is because is lack of motivation, right? When the initial adrenaline rush came to you that, okay, I want to be saving money, you maybe because you listen to one motivational speaker or whatever thing comes around, right? It gives you that motivation that I want to be saving, right? But that motivation gets going down as days goes on, right? And along the line, the saving of money becomes like an obligation, not something you are excited to do, something bitter. So one way or the other, you find a way to just come out your money and stop and stop saving. So one of the things we want to try to do or to help people is to make them stay consistent with motivation, and that was where the gamification element comes in. So whenever you save on Stashwise, we give you, there is an in-app currency that we give you, which is Stash Coin. So when you save money on Stashwise, depending on how much you save, and every time you save, we give you some Stash Coin. Now you can accumulate more of that Stash Coin, right, to redeem some reward like vouchers, like gadgets, like accessories. So the assumption is that, okay, if you know, like, oh, if I keep saving, I will get this thing called Stash Coin, and I can use that Stash Coin to get some reward. It can ginger you, can give you some motivation to at least keep saving your money, right? When you know that you are still going to get the money back with an interest. So that was where the idea of Stashwise, of gamification in savings comes in, and that's what Stashwise is.
Okay. Apart from the savings and the investment, is there any other services that you could provide?
Currently, no. The next service we want to add to it is what I just talked about, is the cooperative, whereby a user
Okay.
can be able to join a cooperative, yeah, and save with them and stuff others.
All right. Let's talk about your challenges, the challenges that you faced in the beginning. So, what were the challenges that you faced, and how did you people overcome them?
I guess all founders in Nigeria will have experienced these challenges one form or the other, which is limited resources, right? When you're building a business in Nigeria, you can't really go and meet investor with just an idea unless you have some form of connection. So at the start of Stashwise, limited resources was one of the challenges we faced. and that limited resources also um, bring some other issues like hiring. So because we don't have a lot to offer to a developer, we kind of get the uh, not so skilled version of working with us, and it was like stress at the beginning. So those are some of the challenges we experienced. But I'm going to say, thankfully, I have an amazing co-founder. Right, she's a technical person, so she always come around somehow to find a way to sort out issues. So that was how we navigate that part, right? But limited resources was one of the biggest challenge that we have starting out. Then another challenge that we have was trust. So anything that relates to money, Nigerians, it's not so easy to get. It's not so easy to get their trust, right? So that was one of another biggest challenge that we have, right? People to get people to start using the platform, they have to ask a lot of questions. There are even people that will try out the platform many times before they like I have someone who tried the platform, put money, save money, then try to remove it the same day and do that thing for like 4 or 5 times. Okay, and I was reaching out saying like I realized you are trying this transaction, you are duplicating transaction. What happened? And he said that I'm just trying to make sure it's something I can trust. Like I know that okay, I can collect my money back whenever so trust was one of the things, and I think gradually as we progress, is we are gaining more trust of the people, and I think that's also a wonderful thing.
Let's talk about trust. Like you said, in Nigeria, a lot of things have happened. People have lost their money. One investment scheme or the other will come and the money goes. Let's talk about how we are able, or how did you people build trust?
So largely, I would say the way we build trust is through customer care, right? We reach out a lot to people. So if you register on the platform and we notice that you tried to do something, maybe it wasn't successful or you didn't follow through with it, we will reach out to you to ask, okay, what is going on, right? What was the issue? What are you trying to do that did not work? And stuff like that. There are also people that reach out to us before they even register on the platform to ask a lot of questions, right? And I guess because of the fact that we are there every time they come around to ask questions or to make inquiry, or us even reaching out to them, kind of give them that confidence to still proceed with the platform. So that was one of the way I would say we build trust. Then another way I guess, or another PBD moment that I guess also happened was when we integrate VFD. So VFD is a microfinance bank, right? Um, we didn't actually integrate them before. We didn't have any partnership with them before. But I think I saw like changes in people's behavior to saving with us when we announced the partnership with them.
Let's talk about your limited resources. Like you said, limited resources hindered hiring, the quality of people that you guys needed. So how do people raise capital for your business?
So currently, we are currently bootstrapping, right? We haven't raised any fund for the business. Like I said initially, because of the um, environment that we are, Africa in general, or Nigeria, let me say, being a founder, you can't just compare to like the other continent and how they raise funds, right? You can't just tell any investor that, oh, I have this brilliant idea and I think it's going to work out. Give me your money, let me go and build it, right? Nobody is going to listen to you. So because of that, we are currently bootstrapping, but my co-founder and I put some bit of money in it to be able to pay some of the developers, to be able to afford some of the other things that we use. But um, we will soon be announcing like a fundraising very soon, sure.
Let's talk about your business model. You are helping people save money. So what's your business model like, and how do people generate revenue for the business?
Okay. Okay, so that's a nice question. So generally, for a saving platform or a saving company, there is two major way or two known way that you generate revenue, right? The first one is you put the user savings into an investment, and the interest spread means the differences in the interest, right? Is what you use, is what you get as your own revenue. Another way is like you take the user savings and you use it to fund loans. So that would be like for other saving platform that has like a loan product where you can borrow money from them. So you use it to fund loan to get higher interest, and the differences in it will be your revenue. For Stashwise, currently the only way we make money is from interest spread. So we take the user savings and we invest them in some investment vehicles that give us return that will be able for us to fulfill the interest that we promise the user, and also be able to keep some for ourselves. Do you understand? And
Okay.
currently, some of the investment that we put money into at least are giving us a return of a minimum of like the differences now I'm talking about from 10 to 25%. Like after paying the users savings, after paying the users money. Then another way
Okay.
we intend to generate revenue moving forward, I talk about cooperative, right? We are currently working on the platform. We haven't put it out publicly for people to start using. But one of the ways we want to generate revenue from that is a base fee. We want to be giving each cooperative organization that are on board with us a certain amount of money they'll be paying every month to be able to keep using the platform. And then also charge them transaction fee on any non-saving product. So anything from loan repayment to sitting allowance and all these other form of money that cooperative usually collect from their members, we will be charging 2% on it.
Customers are the life wire of every business because when customers are using your business, you are generating revenue for the business. So since you people launched, what has worked in attracting and retaining customers on your platform?
What has worked is really social media posting and WhatsApp broadcasting. Like we do a ton of sharing our stuff on WhatsApp group. But I personally I join a ton of WhatsApp group that I share. I just repost our stuff on, because we haven't done much marketing, we haven't done much paid marketing, right? So mostly it's just us and the team member sharing stuff on WhatsApp status, WhatsApp groups, and also on our social media. If you check all our various social media platforms, there is always one content or the other every day. So those are the ways we are currently attracting users. But we also intend to do more in terms of paid marketing to also attract more users.
The internet has really made a lot of things easier for us. That means people are not thinking about those that are not on the internet because there are people that don't use internet, like the market women, those on the street who they are doing their business.
Well, maybe in the nearest future we are going to target them, but currently no. But because for you to be our ID target customer, you need to at least be using the internet, because that's the only way you can be able to save money, right? And you need to at least have a bank account that you can at least transfer money on, or have a card attached to it that you can link to Stashwise. So currently we are not targeting anyone who is not at least a big tech savvy. But I know like there are
Okay.
some saving platform that uses agents. So maybe if Stashwise want to target them, maybe we'll try that too.
Nigeria economy is great. You know what I mean by Nigeria
Yeah.
economy is great. Our economy is nosediving to where we don't really know where it's going. We are just hoping and believing that things will get better someday. So, how has the Nigeria economy affected or impacted Stashwise?
So maybe because we just started, right? So to a large extent, the economic has not really affected us. But if I'm going to say like maybe some ways that it has affected, because of the buying power of people has reduced, right? I'll be honest, the money people put in savings will also generally reduce. right? Someone who can, like, let's say someone taking 70K a month, right? And if you are going to factor in all the expenses he or she is going to make before the end of another month, the amount he's going to save, right, might not be upward compared to like when the economic was great. So I would say maybe that's one of the ways. Then another one was when, so I think at the beginning of the year or so, the federal government reduced the interest on federal government bond, right? And usually, as a saving platform, um, the interest you promise your user are usually benchmark on federal government investment instrument like treasury bill and bonds. So when that happened, it also affected where the kind of interest you want to promise the user. We are thinking of promising them something something upward of 20%, but we also like, if we go and overpromise and under deliver, it's going to be a problem. So those are the ways like
Yeah.
the economic affected the decision that we make.
Okay. Now it's Stashwise doing today. What does the future look like?
Well, we just put out our mobile application, and the responses we have been getting from that is positive, right? Since we put it out, and yeah, we've had a decent amount of users and a decent amount in assets under management. But looking up to the future, if you are going to talk about, okay, savings in Nigeria, if I ask you about savings in Nigeria, there is two major brands that will come up in your mind, right? I don't want you to I don't want you to mention them, but one of the future I'm hoping for Stashwise is that when we talk about savings in Nigeria, Stashwise will be one of the names that will pop up in your mind of any Nigerian.
We are in the era of AI, artificial intelligence, and every day new products, new services are just popping out. So, how has AI impacted or helped in the running of Stashwise, and how do you plan to stay ahead?
So that is actually so that's actually a funny story, yeah, funny question, right? But currently, we are not integrating AI or worry about AI with what we are building, but we intend to in the nearest future. So we intend to, because AI can help you greatly. What I believe we are building with Stashwise, to even mention this, is not just a saving platform, it's a financial assistant, right? Something that help you not just for save. Because one of the other things that I didn't mention before was part of the things we are integrating into Stashwise is financial education. Another thing we realize Nigerians don't have is financial education. If you have an average Nigerian, what is stock market? They don't know what it is, right? Like, just you can just do a demo of it, like just try it out, like go to the market or go anywhere. Even students can surprise you that they don't know what it is. So if someone cannot know something as basic as what is stock market, how would they even know some of the investment terminologies, compound interest, simple interest, like that and this, right? So one of the things we are integrating into Stashwise is financial education, bite-sized financial lessons, right? So the way I usually think of Stashwise is not really a saving platform, but a financial assistance that help you with your savings, help you with the literacy part of the savings, and help you with other things. So one of the ways we might or we think we might integrate AI in the near future is going to be assistance relating to financial knowledge. So you want to analyze your banking, financial statements to know, okay, where are you spending money on, or where do you need to improve to be able to save more money, right? You just come across a financial terminology, you don't know what it means, you want to learn more about it. Those kind of things will be the way we are going to integrate AI in the near future, but not
Okay.
not currently.
All right. So, what are the key lessons that you have learned in your journey as an entrepreneur?
So I would say one major one is progress is better than perfection, right? Make progress. Don't wait till everything is perfect. To give you an example of that, the first MVP of Stashwise that we put out, So on Paystack, you can create a payment page, right? Where you, if you put a payment page, people can see the amount, right, and pay the money, right? And at the same time, you can also create a subscription page. A subscription page is on Paystack is where if someone put an amount, right, they decide the amount they want to put, they put their details, they also decide like the frequency, maybe like daily, bi-weekly, weekly, or monthly, right? If they set all those things and they proceed with it, so every time based on what they set, a money will be removed from their card that they use on that subscription page. So the first MVP we put out of Stashwise was just a landing page and a button that says get started. When you click on that button, it take you to Paystack subscription page. You have to put all those details. When we put it out, a lot of people are just messaging me that why is it not like they can sign up, log in, and do all this usual normal thing that people would do? Why is it taking them to Paystack immediately? But at least it give us some experiences, some knowledge from that. Even two people, I think, also sign up through that first subscription page. And I think sometimes as founders or as entrepreneurs, you might want to think, oh, I want to build out this thing first. I want to, like we said, we want to be the gamified saving platform. Why will you be putting out a Paystack subscription page, right? It doesn't correlate. But at the same time, it's still progress to some extent. So I think progress is better than perfection. So that's one of the lessons I've learned.
Let me take you back to your business again. Is Stashwise registered under Security and Exchange Commission and other authorized bodies?
For a saving platform, for it to be compliant, there's two ways you can do it. The first one is to get a SEC license, like you mentioned, right? And unfortunately for us, we haven't got it to the point and the required capital to be able to get a license. We don't have that fund, like just like I said before, we haven't raised any fund, right? So the next best option that we can go through is to partner with a microfinance bank, and that's what we did with BFD. So hopefully, moving forward, when we raise more funds, we will go on and get the license just for ourselves.
All right, that is what I wanted to know. So, what advice would you give to others who are starting their business or who want to start their business?
Um, I would say start where you are and start with what you have, right? You don't have to be, don't waste a lot of time trying to get people on board, maybe to invest. Like, I have to get people to give me money before I start um, with. So start where you are and start with what you can. And if there is one advice I'm going to give, actually, right? I know like lawyers can be expensive, right? But try as much as possible to get a lawyer's advice before you sign any agreement. And this is from experience, I'm saying this, right? Try as much as possible.
Okay.
Don't use just AI to interpret an agreement. As much as you can, even if it's like a lawyer friend that is not out of school yet, or I don't know how you are going to do it, but try as much as possible to get the lawyer before you sign any form of agreement. So that would be the
Okay.
advice I would give.
All right. So, someone will ask, what experience did you have that made you have get a lawyer's advice before you?
I won't really want to go more into the details, right? But I would say like there are sharks everywhere. There are people who want to take advantage of your or of your youthfulness, of your limited experience, and I don't know, and maybe of your passion generally, of the fact that they see, oh, you are so passionate about what you are building here. They want to put as minimum effort possible to get as maximum return possible, right? And yeah, that's why that's why I just said that. Just make sure you get a lawyer before you sign any agreement.
Today Africa Podcast is a podcast series where we interview African entrepreneurs and professionals and share the stories behind their businesses. In each interview, we ask how they got started, how they grew, and how they run their business today. The stories are inspiring and also provide specific advice and insight into starting a business. By sharing these stories, we want to help others get started.